Greetings, you functional members of Parliament, truly the rarest creatures in the galaxy, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Elathrix, and of course, welcome to the video which will utterly break the build we did the full playthrough video on just a few days ago. Today, once again, we are going to be testing out the Parliamentary System and the Merchant Guilds, but this time using them to their true potential. That is to say, absolutely making insane scaling that will make the entire game far too easy, and just be an absolute powerhouse. So what we're going to be doing is, first of all, of course, having Parliamentary System, giving you your factions early and giving you plus 40% additional faction unity gain, combining this with the Democratic Authority type, giving you even more unity, and then this time, Fanatic Egalitarian, rather than just regular Egalitarian, which will give you another 50% on your faction unity gain. You can see how that's going to go a little bit crazy, but then the mechanic I didn't understand before comes into play, which really tips it over the edge. We're going with regular materialist, because this allows for the academic privilege living standard. This increases the political power of your rulers and your specialists dramatically. And what I didn't understand was the political power is what actually gives you the unity from the factions from how many members are in that faction. So the more rulers and specialists, especially with the increased political power, who are members of your lovely, lovely factions, well, you end up with an absolute ridiculous amount of unity for doing nothing. So the next civic, of course, we're using, just like the previous build, is the Merchant Guilds. The Merchant Guilds are already fantastic, at least as we found out before, they can make your clerks pretty good, but what I didn't realise is that cyborgs kind of go insane with trade value, which I did not understand at all, and it's for one simple reason. They can have two of the thrifty traits. You can have the normal thrifty, and then you can have the machine version of thrifty, and you can have them both on the same population. Then combine that with the governor there, the director of trade, which further increases trade value from clerks, and I bet by the end we can have clerks giving more trade value than merchants of other empires. Every clerk. And then combine that with the Trade Federation, and you're making ridiculous amounts of unity, consumer goods, and energy from clerks. And of course, the merchants you do get will be super, super powerful. But to make this build flow a little bit better, we're not going to start off with the merchant guilds, we're actually going to start off instead with technocracy. This will allow all of our scientists to have expertises. The expertise will allow you to get loads of extra research in specific things, and we want certain things very early on. It also gives you an additional research alternative, because we want that cyborg tech the second we can. Now, one other way of doing this build is by going down the route of shared burdens. And what shared burdens does is, first of all, I think it's already a pretty good civic, but it also doubles the unity from egalitarian factions. I don't know if that is better than going down the route of academic privilege, because sadly, if you have shared burdens, you can't also have academic privilege, but it's certainly another way to do this, if you're thinking more hammer and sickle, and less cog? That all said, though, we will be starting off with technocracy, getting the expertise on our different scientists, and then swapping over to merchant guilds later when we have the techs we already need. As for traits, of course, thrifty, because trade value, intelligent, and quick learners I think will all be really good. Unruly and sedentary we can swap once we're cyborgs, so it won't be too bad. And then as for our origin, we're going to be using this, the absolute default origin. I never use this, and I think it's actually slightly underrated. It will give us additional populations. That's the only reason I'm using it. It'll also give you a bonus on your homeworld to give you a bit of an early advantage. And that is pretty much it. That is the United Guilds. And with that, oh yeah, our ruler is also a scientist, so they'll also be getting the expertise. That's the last thing really to mention, I think. As usual, we're using my regular settings. Hey everyone, Future Elathrix here, just here to say two very quick things. First of all, the next full playthrough, which will be the brand new Origin versus the all-Crisis type, will be out likely next week. I'm having loads of fun with it, and I'm trying to not rush it to make it as good as I possibly can, because sometimes with the full playthroughs they can start dragging, so I'm trying to do some other things whilst I'm also recording that, like these build videos, just to make sure it's as fresh as possible. But also, I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been liking and commenting and everything else with these new build videos, since they're not the normal type of video of this channel, but I've been having so much fun doing a theory craft and talking to you all about it, so thank you so much. My appreciation is just endless there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And now back to the past. and with this build being one of the easiest builds I've ever used. Even more so than the last time I said that. But at least it was fun, and brokenly strong. And so begins our glorious rule at the very outskirts of this ring galaxy. So then, straight away what we need to do is swap on over our people from decent conditions, which does already give a plus 700% ruler political power and plus 100% specialist, all the way to academic privilege. Rulers now giving 900% and specialists giving 400%. If you go with social welfare, you actually get a little bit of extra worker political output, which is interesting. Sadly, utopian abundance gives nothing. Stratified economy is completely about your rulers, but obviously you have more specialists in the end. So that all makes sense to me. Let's go with academic privilege. Now, if anyone wants to tell me the exact calculations of how this works, then feel free to, but a lot of people have mentioned how this should work out just fine. This is my first time testing it, so it's going to be interesting, to say the least. More research is super important, yes to the pop growth, and yes to the research. And any moment now, we should have our faction spawning in. There we go, let's see how much we're getting. Oh, I can already see how much we're getting. Okay, so 25 there, basically 26, and just over 13. That is a lot of unity to begin with. Now, you are the one I want to promote as much as possible. It's annoying you're only 85% considering we can't do anything else to please you, but that is still a lot of unity for doing nothing. Again, that's the main thing there. We don't have to build unity buildings. Now, the problem is, academic privilege, very expensive. So, industrial district first, then we'll start moving on over to our research labs. So there's two reasons we went down the route of technocracy, which I don't think I explained very well earlier. First of all, the additional research alternative is going to be so important in getting what we want. We want droids as soon as possible for our ascension, in addition to a few other select things like the extra faction unity gain tech and other things like that. In addition to that, all of your scientists begin with an expertise. This is a specified bit of extra research, and what I want is as many of these as possible to be stacked. Particles are energy weapons. We still want to go down the route of arc emitters because it's good versus everything, and also counters the fallen empires, which I hope to attack later on. We want as many of these as possible so that our repeatables go absolutely insane later on. That does mean I kind of want to get rid of the speaker, to be honest, because statecraft is not what we're after there. Statecraft is good, not what we want right now. Despite having no Unity buildings built, statecraft is already finished, and of course we've gone with transcendent learning. Our leaders are super important as always. And to begin with, I'm mostly going for ones which either have this, expertise particles, excellent, that makes a third, or have things like private minds, etc. Now, annoyingly, this one is also a very lavish fellow, but let's go with that one anyway. We want as many particles as possible. I've never been able to stack one expertise before, and I just think it's going to be incredibly fun. Today, we've decided on shiny pew-pew lasers. Ooh. I want to invade you desperately. I'm egalitarian. Does that mean I can invade others? Now, of course, this will have to be swapped to aggressive, but I think we can. And then, once we grab them, we'll also encourage political thought to swap them over to our way of thinking, so as many egalitarians as possible. Ooh, materialists. Okay. Pacifist is close. Okay. They won't be too bad, actually. Going to go with Discovery second, and I never do this, but we're going to go with Chart the Unknown. This increases our survey speed and anomaly discovery chance. When we activate this, it will increase survey speed by 100%. Normally, I go with Department Efficiency second, giving more councillor experience gain. But let's go with this one for a bit of fun. At the end of the day, this is a build video, so let's build and be weird. We also need to build up a fleet for some more influence. I have been basically selling my alloys up to this point because, well, I would like some more other stuff. The Minister of Defense, lovely. Politician, rank 2. If you're wondering why my economy is doing so well when I'm basically only building researchers at this point, it's purely because of the leaders we've chosen. As much as possible, I've chosen leaders with things like entrepreneur or private minds, etc. And this is basically my entire economy at the moment. Glory to our leaders. Okay, we're now at the point where we have all of the new civics, and I kind of misunderstood one of them. For some reason I thought merchant guilds could also be scientists. Don't know why, it doesn't really matter in the long run. We have all our super leaders now anyway. So we now have cutthroat politics, merchant guilds, and parliamentary system, similar to the previous run, except for, of course, the rest of the build around them is now supporting them a lot better. So far, it's got very similar vibes to the previous run, which makes sense. We have the same civics, we're just playing differently with our ethics and how we use our empire. But this time it is just better. We're getting more unity than before, and we are being able to focus almost completely on research. 608 doesn't seem like much at this point, but we don't have that many worlds. Our empire size is tiny. We're kind of rocketing through tech at this point. Still haven't got the cyborg stuff yet, so I do need droids, because I really want the next one to be cyborgs as soon as possible. Turns out we needed integrated cybernetics, not the droid tech. I actually had that tech for a while and just did not grab the Ascension perk, so whoops-a-daisy on my part there. Of course, this means now we are going into cybernetics already.
Council agenda available.
The flesh is weak. So after cyborgs, we're then going into diplomacy to make a faction. As a few people told me in the comments, and thank you to this, I didn't know this at all. Merchant guilds actually allows you to make the trade federation type, even if you're not a mega corporation, and if you haven't gone down the route of mercantile in the tradition trees. That is really useful information to know, and I wish I knew it sooner. What scary militarists we have next to us. All will serve the tech-rushing parliamentary system. Not really much more to say right now. I'm sending my scientists back to start assisting with research because, well, they're very good at that now, especially as cyborgs. Yeah, that additional assist research efficiency is really good. I'm not sure if other leaders have something similar to that with the Ascension paths, but that is just fantastic. Oh, I really need gene tailoring before we finish off the cybernetics so I can upgrade my people. If you really like hearing technology discovered, then this is probably the Empire for you. The tech rushing is going fantastically. We have loads of modifiers because of our earlier expertise traits, and our research is increasing very, very quickly, so everything's looking really good, honestly. We're slowly expanding down here. Oh, no, looks like we are going to be blocked off, sadly. Though, at least we are going to grab this world here and going to kind of weirdly slide into this world because this is the Fanatic Xenophobe. Oh, no, never mind. That system there isn't connected, so please grab that first. No need to be sneaky at all, which is good. Ah, hello. Ooh, we could grab the Alpine world. That's tempting. That's 35 new populations if you grab this. Sorry, 34. That's still loads. What are you then? Oh, they're a hive mind. Never mind. Wait, can you assimilate hive minds with... Assimilation... I don't know if that works on hive minds, and I'm not going to risk that, so tell me in the comments if that does work on hive minds. Can you cyborg hive minds into being part of your empire in the same way that you can if you've gone down the genetic route? We are now at over 2,000 research. One of the reasons is I have swapped out one of our civics for the time being to meritocracy. The reason for this is that the cutthroat... Where are you? The cutthroat one will not really come into play for a very, very, very long time, because all we want is the actual councillor. That's going to be the last councillor we get, so for now, we may as well have the additional output in addition to the leader experience gain councillor position. The next one we'll get is the merchant guild position, and I think... Our people have been changed now. Lovely. Let's take a look, see at the merchants. 18.5 trade value each. 18 trade value. That is crazy. And remember, that is before a lot of the modifiers of the Empire have been placed on it. So any other increases are all being affected here. For instance, from trader and high stability, that doesn't apply what you're seeing here. It applies once it's all been added up. So it's actually... a full 30-40% higher than that? Yeah, we can make that work. Cybernetic Advantage is now active, giving us additional pop assembly speed and less upkeep for our cyborg populations. And we can now expand the council. This is going to be our trader to increase the trade value from our clerks, which are already looking pretty good without any of those additions. Yeah, our merchant's looking fantastic. We have a new protectorate, a new vassal, because we are just kind of going mad with power at this point. Our economy is fantastic, our research is just so much further ahead than everyone else's. This is the power version of the previous full playthrough. I could likely make this group a protectorate, but I really do want my federation up and running as soon as possible, please. Will you accept a trade league? Yes, you will. Oh, or a research cooperative. No, we want the Trade League because we're all about those lovely merchants and the fact our cyborgs are now producing excessive amounts of energy. Come on, accept it already. Lovely. Glory to the Federation. I'll be friendly with everyone I meet, of course. Not you, human devouring swarm, which is creepy when you think about it. I'm thinking zombies. Anyway, the Federation has been formed. Where's that scientist gone? There was a scientist right... Hello? I know most of my scientists are now assisting research. Is there any just bouncing around right now? Yeah, what are you over there for? Oh, never mind. You already finished that. That's my fault because I can't read. Oh, Lathrix, you are a poop. Anyway, let's continue with this. So, of course, the main reason why I wanted this particular Federation type is just because of the Trade League trade type, which means now our trade value is also becoming Unity and consumer goods. In the end, all will serve the glorious trade union. I mean, I didn't expect this fast, but apparently, yep, most are accepting our rule. Oh no, I just thought, I don't have the ascension thing yet to make them happy despite having loads of vassals. Okay, I wanted more influence, but now let's just get... Actually, no, we're not gonna get any more unity. Remember, all of our unity must come from our factions. That's kind of like the mini rule of this whole run, again. State of Smeggle! We've vassalized the Hive because now we have almost 80,000 fleet power, and that's because we have the Stormfire autocannons, the best ones, and although autocannons have been nerfed in terms of their fleet power contribution, they're still very good weapons, and we've managed to get all the way to max rank with that, along with max rank armor, so our fleets are looking horrifying. Because of that, the Hive has accepted our request, and I've even made it so I can integrate them, which means, yes, after a few years, all of this will simply be part of the Empire. I finally have gas, so let's get to work then. Every world, let's start upgrading our research facilities. This is going to cause our tech to explode. We're also just about to finish off diplomacy. After that, I'll grab shared destiny, so our people won't hate me as much anymore, because I honestly already control over half of the galaxy 50 years in. So the reason why this is also broken is the same reasons as the last run, just set to 100. Because I don't have to care about Unity at all, it's allowed me to focus on everything else. So we have loads of forges, loads of research, loads of everything else. And now that I'm in this Federation, it's also producing all of the consumer goods I'm ever going to need, and thus bolstering Unity even further. And things are just going really well because of that. In addition to this, of course, we are Fanatic Egalitarian, which is just a very strong ethic, giving us additional faction unity gain, which of course stacks with everything else, but also, it's improving my specialist resource output. Having more leaders in the pool also means I got very good leaders early on, which gave me extra resources with private minds and entrepreneurs and stuff like that, and it's just led to a very easy, very, very power-hungry build. And soon, I'm hoping in the next 10 or 20 years, we can get the Archaeology Project and start converting our worlds into their final form, which will be trade value havens. I've decided to be a bit silly. We've gone with the Archaeology Project rather than bolstering the loyalty of our protectorates. And now, I'm hoping that'll go to war for me, because of course, they're not just my protectorates, we're also in a federation together. Normally, protectorates won't really go to war with you, because that's normally not the deal, but...
They will not infringe.
Glorious. I'm not even going to help this. I'm going to keep my fleet here because I'm really nervous about being attacked back by any of my current protectorates. So I'm just going to sit here and keep researching. We're just about to hit 5k tech. We are, of course, upgrading our stuff. I just stopped upgrading here to get my minerals back, but I was hoping I would have enough to instantly Archaeology Project, but sadly not quite yet. I might save up, though. I have stacked a lot of stuff on the other worlds. I really want this as soon as possible, because that's just fun. I don't have enough capacity. Oh, none of my starbase. Yeah, all my starbases had other stuff. None of them have any resource silos. Okay, resource silos, then we do that. Let's get back to building stuff till then, I suppose. In case you're wondering, at this moment in time, 50 years into the game, the factions are producing just shy of 600 unity. Well, time to find out. Yes, you can. Okay, so this empire just woke itself up, and this was the hive mind. You can stop the hive mind being a hive mind and turn them into cyborgs. Finally, investor. We've not got any of those yet in our council. I guess I do have less governors than usual, but still. Okay, we've just got Ascension Theory, so Master Builders is fantastic, but for now, finally, Shared Destiny. Let's have more friendship, please. We got so lucky. I'm so glad I grabbed Shared Destiny. You may have noticed very briefly in the top left, it popped up. Someone is going to declare war on you soon. It was basically half of my vassals. They were all getting ready for a war of independence, and they just became loyal. That wouldn't have been good. Sadly, the head of research is not really giving me what I wanted there. Driven Educator is interesting. You get research per population, and your scientists level up faster, but I really wanted just empire size effect to things. Thankfully, our empire size is actually very small at the moment, so it's not really a big deal, but yeah. In case you're wondering, our clerks are now producing 12 trade value each. And again, that's before modifiers are added to the worlds. So they're probably closer to 15 to 20. We are now at war with this small federation. I thought it was 3 members of the federation. There are 3 federation members. Where's the last one then? Well, either way, we're at war with them, even though I can't see the 3rd one. So we have the consensus there, which is tiny. The League here. Where is Smeggle? Oh, Smeggle, you're so... Oh, you're just one system. Okay, I am actually sending my fleets in this time. It'll take a while for them to get there, but thankfully there are a lot of hyperlines on the way, so it shouldn't be too bad. We are going to war to make this first one our new tributary. So, at the moment, it's pretty equal. My forces and the Federation are kind of clashing everywhere. In some areas, the Protectorate forces are getting through the Protectorate forces sounds pretty cool, actually. Okay, yeah, sure. The Protectorate forces are breaking through their borders, but in many other ways, they are breaking through ours. Our fleets will get there eventually. In the meantime, though, I'm finally building gateways, which is going to help out, since I can build gateways in my vassal's territory as well, so I can jump around. I also found this. Yeah, I didn't even see that in the corner here. So that is a Gaia world with some other bonuses if we get there. My final scientist as well is now on the way here, and is going to start assisting research. Since pretty much every single one of our worlds is a tech world, I want a scientist above every single world. It's just so much extra tech, especially now you can go down the specialist route of the... Where are you? The analyst, which increases assist research efficiency. Cybrex Warform will now give me 8,000 glorious alloys. Going to slow down Unity production now, which is a bit of a shame, but I really want to do this. There we go. With that, we can now make 2 megastructures at once. I want all of the ring worlds up as soon as possible. Getting very unlucky with this at the moment. Oh, why is our principal instructor not a researcher? Okay, that's my own fault. I did not notice that. Okay, I'm going to replace you then with a lower level one. For the time. No, because this is why we're doing so well with tech, because we have all these like supercharged expertise levels. Really wanted to reduce our empire size, though I get some of the other bonuses you can get. Okay, this new scientist, guess what? You're now in charge of instructing people. Of your weird, weird head. The Secrets of Cybrex is now finished, giving us loads of research, in addition to mega build. Mega structure build speed increased by 10%. Now we're going to be silly and see if we can destroy this thing. It is just hull, isn't it? Which is good, because I have a lot of the, there we go. I have a lot of the autocannons still, which do minus damage versus armor, but bonus damage versus hull and shield. I also asked... Well, that was easy. I also asked the curators how to beat this thing, so it gave me plus 25% damage, and I would very much like the parade, please. Okay, next up then is the Matriarch, since I know the position of that thing. I'm clearly not needed in this war. Simple as that. They've won. My allies have won, so I'm just going to go about doing stuff like this. Ooh, you're good as well. Okay. You first. The first of our Ringworld sections has now been colonized. So the question is, what do you really do with these? Tech is the obvious answer, that's what Ringworlds really excel at. However, Commercial districts give 4 merchant jobs each, and as we're seeing, we're getting a lot of trade value from stuff. So I'm very tempted just to have trade value ring worlds provide all of our, honestly, almost all of our resource. But then it is odd having these as our research worlds, because these don't really have many bonuses towards that. Yeah, it's just researcher upkeep. Whereas these get actual researcher increases, which is such a big deal. I also really want to level these up, because it also increases your pop growth speed and your organic assembly speed, so that doubles how fast we grow our populations. Don't really know. I think the first one I'm going to go with trade, just because it's fun. There is a trade one, right? I'm not going utterly bonkers. There we go. I mean, that's good as well. It's plus 20% trade value, and it still has the extra stuff, so if I increase this... Oh, yeah. Okay, yep, ring worlds for trade value, that's going to be glorious. Suddenly wishing I was Xenophile just for the extra trade value, but we're still doing great for it. Also now, so from trade, honestly, we haven't really super developed trade. Although we get loads per pop, most of our pops aren't in trade yet. That will change very soon, so that's going to just explode. But most of our unity is still just coming from the factions. Over 1,000 unity just passively by owning the factions. God, I can't talk properly today. Oh, that's so nice. Robot output. Oh, actually, no, it's not great for us because we're not synths. But finally, one of them has Master Bureaucrat. Thank you. Ooh, and that's about to start. Can I... Oh, whoops-a-daisy, I've just realised I've accidentally left on all of the edicts to improve the power of our fleets the entire way there. I actually do want those back on right now, though, because we're about to fight this thing.
Engaging enemy fleet.
Not great timing, since these do have some negatives towards our ships, I believe, but still. Hopefully this won't be too bad. No, we're just melting through them, it's fine.
Technology
Lovely. Okay, I'm going to start building battleships now anyway, which are going to... Oh, there we go. Some of them have already been built. Which are going to be arc emitters, strike craft, and missiles. That's pretty much our final build. For a second, I was a little bit concerned that we're not doing as well as I originally thought we were. Obviously, we own most of the galaxy, but I expected this to be completely broken. Then I realised we're only 78 years into the game. We still have another 50 years before the endgame crisis. We're doing just fine. And at this point, the ring worlds are only just coming online as well. Those are going to provide so much. We have 4 worlds now, which have undergone the archaeology project. And as soon as some of our worlds are more populated, more of them will follow suit. In fact, one's already following suit. I completely forgot about that. Once again, it's a very brain-dead build and very pleasant to play. And so, we are victorious. However, very unluckily for them, the Devouring Swarm, which, by the way, is still equivalent to us fleet power-wise, is now devouring what's left of that Federation. So it's going to be split into 2. Half of it's now protected by us, the other half is a good meal. What a shame. So at this point, it is 84 years into the game. We are now approaching 18,000 research per month. Our trade value has now increased quite drastically. Let's take a quick look-see. There we go. It is... Oh my god, it's now 2,396, because essentially what's happened is now all of the pieces have fell into place, and every new population, every last thing we do is now just adding so much more than it used to. So just ridiculous amounts of trade value, which is leading to loads of unity. Our consumer goods are almost being completely kept. In fact, I think I'm selling a few right now, which I should really stop. And our factions are still really, really good. One of the factions by themselves are producing over 1,000 unity. Again, no unity buildings in this entire empire. And right now, I'm getting ready to go to war with the fallen empires. That's really good this early on. Just as a reference, this is some of the footage from the previous full playthrough, and you can see the stats here are just ridiculously smaller than our current run. Even though we were running very similar things, it's the small changes which make such a big difference. 7,000 tech, 1,000 unity at the year 2,284. Now back to us in 2,285, so 1 year in the future. Although we have about 100 extra empire size, which really isn't much, we have 17,000 research and 2,000 unity. In addition to ring worlds and archaeology projects done. Yep, you can definitely break this civic. We're getting repeatables done incredibly quickly, and we're just about to grab the Dyson Sphere, because yes, I went with Galactic Wonders as well. So we're going to have loads of Arcology Worlds, we're going to have Galactic Wonder stuff up and running. Our energy is struggling just because of how much rare resource we have to buy every month. We're buying 100 gas every month to keep up with the madness we're currently doing. Okay, so yes please, let's get this thing underway right now. Just to show how much more resource our populations give. So this is a normal population, so as a merchant, 12 trade value, 3 amenities. Then we have us at 18. Wow, even the clerks are majorly different. Yeah, our clerks are producing as much as normal merchants. Clerks are merchants at this point because of Cyborg. Why Cyborg so good money? Laugh no. So I finally upgraded all the other species, and yeah, so our economy bounced back pretty strongly. Everything's looking very, very stable right now, which I am very thankful for. 3,000 energy a month, we're just floating it. There we go. The Mega Shipyard is also now coming online nice and quickly, which is good because we're currently just doom stacking on our main world, which is a bit rubbish. We'll be attacking this Fallen Empire very, very soon, which is kind of the beginning of the end of this little test run. I may attack both of the Fallen Empires. Yeah, let's take out both of the Fallen Empires. That way we can basically say we've won at that point. I'd also like to mention a big thank you to everyone who mentioned you can now do this at star bases. Yeah, rather than just manually clicking one at a time, you can now hold control at a starbase and mass produce armies. So, that's lovely. We're about to go to war with the Fallen Empire, and I kind of forgot to build armies.
Engaging enemy station. Technology discovered.
And there we go, we've entered the enemy Fallen Empire space. Our strike craft already reached the target. In a second, there we go. There goes all of our arc emitters, which will quickly chew through its hull. Are they going to head to me? Lovely, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
Technology discovered.
Yep, they didn't stand a chance. Hired a general just for these fights. Sadly, he's only really a cyborg and not all that much else, but still. That should get all this finished nice and quickly. Meanwhile, the other planet, oh, is being invaded by my allies. Thank you very much for that. Let's move on then to the next one of these and begin bombardment here. Victory is pretty much assured now, since we can status quo and grab all of that, which is all the important stuff, but obviously we want everything. Whirlwind missiles might not be the best option here, but they're just so fun to watch. Look at them spin. Okay, you're going to bombard there. As soon as this fight's done there, okay, you can jump and grab that first world. I have made a climb everywhere, so we are going to try and grab every last thing they have. In fact, I don't really need to bombard anymore since I have more ground forces on the way as well. This was one of the nicest changes in the game, I've got to be honest. Just getting all the ground forces automatically sorted is so pleasant. Our rivalry with the Devouring Swarm has just been invalidated. This is because in the background I have been building more and more fleets. Yeah, we're kind of going a bit mad. We now have a fully functioning mega shipyard. We're getting almost 2,000 alloys every month, and everything's just going a little bit crazy. And we are still going to be able to get Defender of the Galaxy.
Construction complete.
And that is that. Okay, so the militant isolationists are gone. Do you want us to grovel? Beg, perhaps? Never. Come here if you dare, you vile bird. I will impale you on this jagged piece of rubble. Yeah, I think that's enough. My first attempt at war didn't actually go through, annoyingly, but now we've changed some of the rules, so now it's diplomatic voting and it's majority.
Where there is no
there we go.
There can be no peace.
There's only one or two which were actually saying no to it, so that time
Engaging enemy station.
very easily went through. Strikecraft. Destroying their strikecraft and then that beautiful swarming motion. If they always worked that organised, I would love them even more. Sorry, Corvettes. Yeah, last of the Corvettes in the fleet haven't really been treated very well, I have to admit. This time around, though, I could only afford to make a claim on their home system, which is more than enough, really, since that contains everything of importance. Because I spent a lot of influence with this. Nominate the new custodian, which, of course, is us. That might be one of the largest ground fleets I've ever had.
Deploying liberation forces.
Well, they didn't even fight back this time. Well, they did, but they're currently just attacking these worlds over here. So doing absolutely nothing to stop us.
Technology.
Okay, so that is pretty much that. They didn't really fight back. We now have their people, who we are assimilating, so I'm fairly certain they're going to lose their psychic trait and become cyborgs, which is so mean, considering how much they hate cyborgs and synths in the galaxy. But I'm afraid you've got to fit in. Well, that's a real shame. Last second, just before I was about to call the video, just before I'm getting my final Ascension perk, our Director of Trade died at the age of 160. And with that, it dropped our Unity from 5k a month down to 3k a month. Well, closer to 4, but still. Turns out all those clerks really are contributing a lot. Oh, and over 1,000 energy just gone. At least now we're a more diverse bunch. Truly beautiful. With Domination finished, we're going to go with Defender of the Galaxy, meaning that, yeah, we've pretty much become immortal against the endgame crisis. We already have millions of fleet power. We still have a minimum of 15 years until the crisis. We have a high-level Federation, which is still leveling up and giving us more and more resource. And we're about to get the Galactic Defense Force. Once that's up and running, that's just another super fleet we can make for cheap.
Initiating communication.
Well, that was pretty much that run done, so I won't be classing this as a full playthrough, but I am going to be finishing here anyway, because the game is getting unbearably laggy for some reason. Clearly, everything was going fantastically. The factions were giving almost 3,000 Unity each. And by each, I mean together, so the opposite of each. But either way, look at how much Unity that can produce, thanks to the power of the fanatic egalitarian and the fact that all of our people have extra political power. On top of that, our tech is just skyrocketing. We have almost 200% research speed in almost everything. That could have been higher if we really went heavy into tech and heavy into scientists, which will likely be my next build video, because I know a few ways I can really abuse that and expect to see super early everything in the future. And I also now need to get back to recording the main full playthrough, which of course is the God Emperor versus all of the endgame crises using the new Origin. Yeah, this was just super fun and completely broken. The early game was just so easy and you just scaled so quickly, you could just grab everything. So a lot of the other empires did seem weak, but that's because once you vassalize them, it seems like the AI no longer get the same bonuses that they would otherwise, because the swarm over here was equal, if not superior, fleet power to me up until the very, very end, once we started to just scale like absolute madmen with all of the different bonuses. So it is something to bear in mind. Sometimes vassalizing later is a better bet for ultimate power. Either way, thank you so much for watching. This is now quickly becoming one of my all-time favourite civics, which I never thought I would say before, and I'm so glad I'm now learning how to use it a little bit better. Thank you for watching. I'm just going to leave that in. Likes, comments, all that good stuff helps out the channel so much, especially if you want to see Stellaris more in the future. Thank you. Have a lovely day.